East New York is definitely, a hood part of Brooklyn, part of
To
New
say the
York.
least, yeah.
It's not an easy place to grow up. But I think anybody that's from like the hood or the ghetto or a place where, it's rough around the edges, let's just
Yeah.
say, you learn a lot of moral lessons. Like lessons that really, I think, you could either utilize that to further yourself in life,
Yeah.
or you could kind of be stuck in that bubble or stuck in that block in East New York still.
Yeah. It is 2020. Welcome back to another episode of Fire Convos. It is me, Keydra, the entertainment editor here at the Tylt. And we have ARTZ with us today.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
How are you today?
I'm amazing. I woke up early today. I was, got my hair cut. I'm like, I
Yes.
gotta make sure I come down to the Tylt office, make sure, the vibes is all refreshed for 2020.
I love that. What's waking up early for you?
I'm what we call a midnight dreamer. So
What's that?
I stay up. My best ideas come late at night. So sometimes I stay up 4, 5, 6 in the morning.
I respect
that.
So
waking up early to me is like 9, 10.
Yeah. No, I respect that.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unless it's like music and duty calls. Like
exactly.
Being here for this fire interview, I had to make sure I was awake, even though I was editing till like 7 in the morning today. Especially with the music lifestyle, It always goes after hours. It's never like, hey, let's have this meeting at 8 in the morning and cook up great ideas.
Okay, so for the people who don't know, who have been living under a rock, tell them what you do and where you're from.
I'm from East New York, Brooklyn. I'm a rapper, songwriter.
Check out the technique. Keep out a man talk. Watch how I moonwalk on him.
My forte is in music. In the process of doing music for the last 10 years now. I picked up video editing, directing. I also curate events, mixed media events, art events, anywhere where I could showcase my own ability, but also the ability of the people in my team. I have a company, which I don't even like to call it a company. It's like more of a family. It's called Reject Dreams. We're kind of like the new age X-Men. Myself and my bandit of superheroes. We just try to, bring a new flavor to the game by giving them fresh music, fresh content, and just art in general.
That's dope. Now, you said something that struck a chord with me. You said you're from East New York.
Yeah.
When I first moved to New York, because I'm from Buffalo, shout out 716.
Hey.
When I first moved here, they said, my cousin was like, there are 2 places you are not allowed to go. East New York and Brownsville.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out, what was that like making it out of East New York? Clearly you made it because you're here.
Yeah, that's a fact. East New York is definitely, a hood part of Brooklyn, part of
to
New
say
York.
the least, yeah.
It's not an easy place to grow up. But I think anybody that's from like the hood or the ghetto or a place where, it's rough around the edges, let's just say, you learn a lot of moral lessons. Like lessons that really, I think, you could either utilize that to further yourself in life, or you could kind of be stuck in that bubble or stuck in that block in East New York still.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I learned a lot of things from being in that environment. My mom also early on put me in school in Queens, so I'm like I'm a Brooklyn Queens kid.
Okay, I respect that.
You know what I'm saying? So, but what Queens allowed me to do is take what I learned in my neighborhood and block in Brooklyn, and kind of, expand by being a more diverse individual, knowing people from different ethnic backgrounds. Honestly, in East New York, it was mainly Black and Puerto Rican. I'm Puerto Rican, but it was that neighborhood. That's what it had to offer. So, growing up there, I just really, that's why I fell in love with music and hip hop.
Okay.
My mom was a Brooklyn girl, East New York, Bushwick. She grew up.
Oh, she was born in East New York.
Yeah, she's from East New York.
Oh,
My pops is from Williamsburg, Bushwick area.
Okay.
So, the heart of Brooklyn, like, gave me my love for music and just, like, that environment, summertime, block parties.
Yeah, that's cool.
House parties, that type of shit,
I respect that. Because, there's, like, the hood, the ghetto, then there's, like, East New York. So.
Yeah, believe it or not, most people get surprised when they even hear I'm from there.
Yes, I would not expect that you were like, I'm thinking you might be from a nice little quiet place in Queens.
Nah, man. We grew up in a hood. My mom, I'll tell you this much, I'm more of like a calm, cool, collected person.
Yeah.
But my mom, she's a wild boy.
Really? Oh, I love that.
So, when we were growing up, she's like, listen, if I could get more bang for my buck, living here in East New York that we live here, but that means you gotta go to school and I gotta finesse the school system and make sure you're in a safe environment. But you're gonna learn that to survive anywhere, and I think
I respect that.
That has been such a valuable thing because no matter where I travel, whether it be in Montreal, I was over the last summer I was in the projects of London, and I'm like,
oh wow,
but it kind of teaches you that survival
for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like anywhere you go, so.
Yeah, no, I respect that. Your mom, she sounds dope.
Yeah.
Shout out to mom.
Mama ARTZ. Yeah, shout
out to Mama ARTZ. You said that Brooklyn, East New York inspired your music. Mm-hmm. How did it do that for you?
Well, Biggie was like my childhood favorite. Him, Nas, Hove, Andre 3000.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I would say Brooklyn in general, like my mom was actually a B-girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so she
That's
would
crazy.
throw house parties in the house, and my childhood, like the soundtrack to that was kind of like New York's music at the time. So, Bad Boy era, Rockefeller era, Nas and what they were doing. So I think like just growing up, being in the environment, and then also seeing how the music translated in not only, through radio and through actual pop culture, but also through these people's lives, like my father, mother, uncles. You know what I'm saying? Like this is at the point where they're rocking like 8-ball jackets and my mom got bamboo earrings on. It really just like served for like source material for me later on in this moment in life. And I didn't have no idea until we got here. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. If you had to pick maybe like a one of all time, like I know for me, like I write, so if I'm writing like an article, I have like certain like authors that I look at, like let me kind of put their work right here and like put mine like right here, like as inspiration. Who would your like inspiration, like your go-to be? If you could only pick one. I know, it's
so hard,
crazy.
Because I feel like at different moments of life, these people like serve my appetite.
Oh, I respect that. Okay, that makes
saying?
sense. So who right now you think in this moment?
All right, so I'll say this. In general, it would be Biggie.
Okay.
Because I feel like as an instrument, as a storyteller, his delivery, even his unconventional look, he was a fat dude with a lazy eye. I'm like this, short Puerto Rican kid that looks white from East New York. So I feel like that's unconventional. So I would say Biggie musically. At this moment, like I said, at periods of times it changes. At one point it was Nas, and I was just like, infatuated with the storytelling.
Yeah, he's
now
crazy.
I feel like Jay-Z, obviously, has a longer career than a Biggie, because he passed away. So now Jay-Z is at a point where it's like, not only do I respect what he's done catalog-wise, but also seeing him operate in the business realm and also like giving gems and game to, the youth as far as like how to maneuver in the business realm as well. Especially being independent, doing a lot of my own production stuff with my team. I think those are great things to draw from,
It's funny because when I saw your video, like I was looking like, scanning your Instagram, like stalking it or whatever. I was like, I did think you were white. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. But now when I heard you talk, I'm like, oh no, he's a New Yorker. He's definitely from Brooklyn with that accent.
I'm actually Puerto Rican, part Sicilian and Cuban.
Oh,
so I'm like
cool,
a mutt in some way.
A little mixture. Good food though.
Yeah.
You grew up eating real good.
Yeah, right.
I love that.
We got everything from rice and beans to baked ziti, lasagna.
Exactly.
She don't need a pick. This ain't me to take out. But I want hustle hard just to flip a grand. She just hustle hard.
All right. So we already talked about who your favorite artist is. But you know what? When I listen to your music, it's giving me like vibes. It's very like soulful. I feel like your music is very much a vibe for me. So
thank you.
Tell me a little bit about that, like how you like created your own sound, because I think it's very different from like Biggie, like Nas, like that traditional like hip hop.
Well, that's the beautiful thing I think about growing up in this city. We're dealing with a diverse city, being in New York, but I kind of used that same method when it came to my music. Like early on, when I would listen to not only rap, I'm listening to also like Nina Simone and Lauryn Hill, like
Love Nina.
So I'm mixing, what I draw from these people and what I'm inspired by, and I'm mixing it in a pot,
right.
Until eventually where I've cooked my own sound, found my own voice.
Need a love like Mary J. Blige when she play hard. Need a girl like Amy Winehouse when she staged out. Lord.
And, you know, I also work with a great team of guys that we all push for that. We
Right.
don't like to live in like one box, and
Yeah.
that's why my name's ARTZ to a certain degree as well. I like to continue to experiment with different sounds to expand my horizons as an artist. You know, so with the producers I work with, you know, Todd, the Sound God, Renaissance, some of the other producers that we
Yeah.
collaborate with, you know, we just really honed in. We've been working together for a decade too.
Oh, that's dope. Okay.
You know, so we just honed in on like really finding our own niche and not limiting ourselves to being like this one trick pony type of team. You know, we have rap opera records, we have gospel joints, we got, you know, we just dropped 2 projects. One's called 25/8, the other's the Sex Playlist, and one's very rap hustle based, the
Yeah.
other's very like melodic and ambient.
Yeah.
You know, so like I'm always continuing to like, you know, listen to different sounds, interpret them in my own way, and try to give them fresh perspective. I want to be an artist that can be able to work with Jay-Z at a moment and also work with James Blake and,
Yeah.
you know, FKA Twigs if I need to. I would say that's always our goal, is to always try to push the envelope and get something out of our sound to make dope people like yourself be like, oh, you have your own sound. Yes, that's like the best compliment you
Yeah.
can get. You know what I'm saying? Because nowadays I feel like, especially hip hop, is a rat race to see who makes it to be a celebrity first.
Right,
So a lot
yeah.
of people are chasing what is popular just because they have the notion of like, yo, if I do this type of drill sound, I could get
Yeah.
on. Like, I want to stay on. I don't want to get on.
Longevity,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So
No.
I think having your own sound and crafting something that's special like that allows people to tap into your world more so than just one song, you know?
Yeah, you just described your whole thing, like your world. Like when I was watching like your videos, like New York and Newport, like I really felt like I was like going into your world.
State tech, give me warm, rejects in the cold. When it's 40 below, saving up your paycheck, just 40 below's, Lord.
That song in general embodies like, it's a testament of where I'm from. You know, that's why the video starts off with like the dialogue piece. My dreams get interrupted by sirens and subway trains. The video is based on, you know, there's moments in life that we all have that affect us and impact us in our childhood.
Yeah.
That lead to influence us on the person we're going to become later on in life. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the times, those moments, sometimes people don't cherish because they think they're going to be here forever. Examples like me being on the couch watching videos while my mom was having house parties. I didn't know exactly how much that was going to affect or impact the person I am today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So throughout that video, I kind of showed key components of the things that kind of influenced me and how they once were and how at the same time they're tainted.
Yeah.
Or they're no longer the same. And the examples in the video was one being at the handball court smoking L's. You know, while we was in high school, we was smoking blunts in like the park. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, that's
that.
where you, like,
dumping the Dutch guts on the floor. There
Yeah,
at
that's
the
what you
handball
do,
court.
yeah.
You know, my grandmother's house. She's somebody that, you know, was very strict with me as a kid. Like would force me to read on the one couch you see me sitting on.
Aww.
But to me, I hated reading at that point. But if I wasn't reading as much and forced by her to do that, maybe I might not be the writer I am today.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying? She had me
Fair
reading
assessment.
things like Stephen King, Lion Witch in the Wardrobe.
Oh, I remember
like
that
really,
one, yeah.
those things like really brought me to be the person I am today. So that's what New York and Newport is. It's like the soundtrack for my hustle and you know, my story.
I know, obviously, New York is so a part of your story. It's where you're from. It makes sense. Tell me one thing about New York you wish you could change.
I would say the competitiveness. Even though I strive off of, like, you know, this is like the NBA. I strive off of obviously seeing other people do great and pushing myself to those extents and limits too. But just people just understanding that there's enough of everything in this world where everybody could get their own piece. You know, whether it be money, whether it be the top spot, or you know what I'm saying. I feel like New York, for a really long time, has allowed that to be the excuse to not support peers.
Yeah.
You know, and until one person gets on, everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon
Word,
and be like, yo, yeah, I've been rocking. No. We've done records with people already that are striving and doing things out of the city. But some of these people, like, I've known for years. You know what I'm saying? And you know, just getting that natural love and support, because the more we can, like, think of 90s hip hop in New York. You know what I'm saying? When you got the Wu-Tangs and these different crews, these people had their own style, and they were just all merging together to build the city up. So I think that would be probably one thing I would change, like just a little bit more community vibes, and not just preaching it, like actually being
doing
about
it. Being about it.
You know?
Who's on your playlist right now that's current that you're listening to?
I'm not gonna lie, like, I listen to so many different types of music, but when we're in music making mode, I kind of don't listen to any other artists. I know that might sound like a little bit of a jerk saying that. I would say right now, who have I been bumping lately? Roddy Ricch's new project is fire. That's been his music makes me want to hustle.
Yeah.
Brent Fayez just dropped some new stuff that I was vibing with. You know, my homegirl Ari Lennox, who I have a record with. She just dropped something that
we
was
stay in
dope.
Ari. We have to protect her at all costs.
Yes, yes, we do. You know, to be honest with you, a lot of my playlist doesn't only consist of people who are already either. Some of my peers, some of the people that you know I've worked with, some of the people I'm working with. You know, I keep those people on my playlist as well.
Yeah, of course.
Because they're doing just as dope stuff as some of the majors. You know?
Any female rappers you really into right now? You know, this is like female rappers' time. They're like taking over.
Yeah, I would say Tierra Whack.
Oh yeah, she is dope.
She's killing.
Tierra Whack is dope, yeah.
She's killing it. I haven't heard much of her music, but the girl Bia that's on the Russ record, her voice was really dope on that record. I like that. She's not a rapper, but SZA I love. Somebody
SZA.
I know as well. You know, yeah, there's so much great music. Like, whenever, with this new generation of music, I either, like, love the very subculture stuff. Like, that's why I said, like, the Brent Fayez's and stuff like that. Or I'm listening to, like, the people that I consider, like, the Holy Grail, the Kendricks, the Drakes, the J. Coles. You know, but shouts to all of those artists.
Now I'm about to ask you some really, really tough questions. Really, really hard. I want your honest opinion. And you can't think about it too hard. You can explain yourself afterward, but you can't think about it too hard. I want it to be natural.
Just spitball. Let's go.
I'm gonna start off easy. NYC or Canada? Because I saw that you did something in Montreal.
NYC. Canada's my second home, you could say, but New York all day.
Drake or Jay-Z?
Whew, Jay.
Pasta or rice and beans?
Oh, rice and beans. You
Rice
gotta
and
get
beans.
rid of the car. Well, they both carbs.
They both carbs.
Yeah.
You are on a desert island. You can only bring visuals with you, or you can bring music with you. You have to pick. So you can either bring like a radio, or you could bring like, I don't know, something you watch visuals on, but there can't be any sound to it.
I'm bringing music.
You bringing music?
The visuals in my head already.
I respect that,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? I'll be my own projector.
I respect that. Cardi B or Meg Thee Stallion?
Cardi.
Cardi B. Why Cardi B?
I resonate with her story more, I would say. You know, like, I have people who were, like, I know club promoters that were booking her for dancing. And, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I really respect that girl from the Bronx, too.
Yeah.
Bronx is kind of like that unforgotten borough in a lot of ways sometimes, you know, so I f with Meg Thee Stallion too. I like her attitude and I love her, you know, her tenacity, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go Cardi.
Whitney Houston or Mariah Carey?
Whitney.
Why Whitney?
Whitney just had like that voice that just be like, whew.
Next level.
Yeah, like Mariah's dope too, her Christmas carols and all her hits.
You said our Christmas carols.
No, she was actually my dream girl growing up.
Really?
Mariah Carey was my dream girl. Like, if you could pick a template at that moment in time, as a kid, I'd be like Mariah Carey. But Whitney just had something about her voice that I would just, I'd be like, Jesus, like.
That voice is next level.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for visiting with us at ARTZ. Tell them where they can get your socials, your new projects, all that great stuff.
You could go to artz.today. That's my website. Everything lives on there. My Instagram is artz. You can hit Spotify, ARTZ in all capitals, ARTZ. Or you can also go to rejectdreams.com and you'll find out where my next shows are. You'll find the projects, the videos, and you could dive in. Thank you for having me again. Thank
You're
you
a pleasure.
to you. Thank you to Tylt.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Fire Convos. This is me, Keydra, Entertainment Editor here at the Tylt. We'll see y'all next time.
Reject.